If you are looking for a BTO on the north side, in this upcoming BTO launch, there is one project at Woodlands that HDB offers. Let's discuss what are the pros and cons, as well as the potential future resale price. Looking at the map, if we translate it to Google Earth, it seems like this is the spot for the BTO. As you can see, the land plot is actually not that big. This explains why this project will only have 290 units of 4-room and 5-room flats. It is interesting that this project won't have any 2-room flexi or 3-room flats, which means that this project is targeted at families. Looking at the area, the nearest MRT station is Marsiling, which as you can see is within walking distance. Attached to the train station, as you can see, there is a fair price supermarket, and just opposite of the Marsiling MRT station, you can find many shops here. POSB Bank and also Shengshong Supermarket is also here. If we go to the other side of the MRT station, you can also see more shops, laundry, ATM, barber, clinic, etc. There is also the Marsiling Mall, Active SG Sports Field, as well as a public swimming pool. And not to mention that you are only one stop away from the Woodlands MRT station, which is this one. Causeway Point Shopping Mall is there for more options, as well as making it easy for you to go to JB, especially once the RTS is fully operational. So in terms of amenities, this area is pretty well developed. For parents, you'll be happy to know there are quite a lot of options for primary and secondary schools within the 2-kilometer radius. By the way, even Singapore American School is located near here, so that's a consideration if in the future you are looking for tenants. What about the potential resale price? Well, according to the resale statistics released by HDB, the average median resale price for a 4-room flat in Woodlands area is $525,000. If you compare it with other areas in Singapore, this is considered at the lower end already. But if you look at it from a positive side, this should also mean that the purchase price when you buy this BTO should be on the lower end as well compared to more desirable areas. So what's the catch with this project? Well, historically, Woodlands tend to attract a lot of applicants, so do expect the competition to get a good ballot number here to be tough, especially because there will only be 290 units, which is not much. Obviously, Marsiling is far from the city center, so you will be commuting quite a distance if you are working in the CBD area, but that's more of a general problem and not specific to this BTO. When I did my research online, some commented that the Marsiling area doesn't have a good vibe, but I don't understand it myself as I never lived in the area and I couldn't find any crime rate in Singapore broken down by area. But then again, as you know, Singapore is relatively safe. My general advice is regardless where you want to apply BTO, make sure that you visit the neighborhood by yourself before applying so you can get the feel of the land. Different people have different priorities and buying a house is a very big decision. What about the project status? Will it be a plus or a standard project? Well, this is the tricky part. Technically, this BTO is located within walking distance to the MRT station and has quite a lot of amenities and school options in the area. Although Woodlands is far from the central business district, the area is getting more mature than 20 years ago, and historically it is getting a lot of traction from potential buyers. So there's a good chance that this project will be categorized as a plus project. I hope not, but the risk is there. If that's true, then the owner of the flat here would have to deal with the 10-year MOP, cannot rent out the whole unit even after MOP, partial subsidy clawback upon resale, etc. Personally, I find it hard to stomach if a BTO in Marsiling area has the exact same strict restrictions with other BTO in Kallang or even Ang Mo Kio. So I hope this is another standard project, but we don't know for sure at this point in time. Okay, so let's recap. What I like about this project is that it is within walking distance to the Marsiling MRT station. There are quite a lot of neighborhood shops in the area, and it is also only one stop away from the Woodlands MRT station, which offers more malls and shops. Once the RTS starts operating, you will be able to visit JB more easily for leisure and a more affordable shopping experience. Pricing is also a positive point. If you are looking for a more affordable option in this batch, this project is one of those affordable options. Along similar price brackets, you can also pick projects at Sengkang, Bukit Batok, or Jurong West, so it really depends on which area you are looking at. I also like the fact that there are a lot of school options in the area. Even if you don't have kids yourself, that will be helpful when it's time for you to sell the house, as potential buyers usually care about schooling options for their young children. Now, On the other hand, the downside of this project is the competition will be fierce. Why? Well, it's an affordable option that is within walking distance to MRT station, has 4 and 5 room flat options, and the total unit offered here is only 290 units, which is not that much. The next downside is that Marsiling is far from the city center, but this should not be a surprise. Given the historical data, you also cannot expect a landfall profit if you buy this BTO. This is the classic case where you buy low but you also sell relatively low. Another thing that you should consider is that what are the restrictions to this BTO? If it is classified as a standard BTO, great. They come with the typical restrictions that we are familiar with, the 10-year MOP, can rent out the whole unit after MOP, etc. But if my concerns came true and this BTO is classified as a plus project, wow, that will be far more restrictive. Personally, if this project is a plus, I might as well apply for another plus BTO that is in a more central location such as Ang Mo Kio or Kallang, because at least the potential resale price in the future is significantly much higher. Disclaimer as always, I'm just a completely random person on the internet who knows nothing. So please do your due diligence before making any financial decision. If you want to know my opinion about other BTO projects, check out my other videos on this channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.